friends, it's story time with Dr. Jonette. Welcome. Today we have Miss Morenike, who is going to share her book. The title of her book has one of my favorite things, butterflies. Welcome, Miss Morenike.
Thank you so much. I'm very excited to be here today, and I'm going to be reading from my book, Chasing Butterflies in the Sunlight. And it's a chapter book, and I'm going to be reading the first two stories in here. The first is going to be the prologue, and then the second will be the first full chapter, which is Welcome Home, Baby Brother. So I'll get started, right? So I'm going to get started with the prologue, and here's a
adorable.
The children's mother was 40 years old. Although she had 3 children of her own now, she often recalled happy and nostalgic memories about her own childhood. She grew up on a 5,000-acre university campus in the ancient city of Ile-Ife. Ile-Ife was in the southwestern area of a country called Nigeria in West Africa, located in the northern hemisphere of the world, Greenwich Mean Time +1. She and her family had lived in a 4-bedroom house, notable for a row of tall conifers lining its front garden, on Road 13. All the roads had numbers instead of names. The odd thing was that now that she was grown up and living in Baltimore with her husband and children, many of her dreams took place in that exact house, whether the location of the dream was America, England, Mexico, or Canada. It was always the same dear familiar house. Her 3 children, including the 11-month-old baby, liked to be told stories. "Mommy," said the eldest, "please tell us a bedtime story, please. Please, please. You promised, you promised, you promised. Please, please." And the middle child, jumping up, down, joined in. "Yes, Mommy, you promised, you did." And baby added, "Yeah," and "ah-da-da-da-da, ooh, ooh, ooh," and giggled in loud hysterics until, finally won up by their pleas, she yielded. It had to be a made-up story, not read from one of their many Barney, Beatrix Potter, or Tigger books, not Bob the Builder or Dora the Explorer, not even Pokemon or Thomas the Tank Engine was acceptable. So one day, the children's mommy decided that she would create and write a story loosely inspired by her own childhood, which hopefully the children would read to themselves. The baby could at least look at the pictures and give us some peace and latitude to do other less exhausting tasks. In between going to work and making the meals, in between reading them stories, making sure they were dressed and taking them to the zoo, aquarium, or science center, in between going to visit Thomas the Tank Engine at the Baltimore Railroad Museum, carting the oldest and middle children to play dates and sleepovers, and seeing that they went to school and did their homework, she wrote several tales. Finally, hooray, hooray! The book was done and ready to be read. You will discover in the pages ahead the colorful and exciting world of stories created by the children's mommy. The children gladly read, reread, and relished the stories. They hope and expect that you will find the stories as alluring as they did. Welcome home, baby brother. Ronke was sulking in her room. Now that the baby was here, they didn't seem to have time for her anymore. Ronke was 6 years old. Ever since she could remember, she had prayed every night for a baby brother. She couldn't imagine why they laughed when she said that, or sister. It seemed that everyone had known about her longing for a sibling because everyone she saw, wherever she went, uncles and aunties, other people's uncles, aunties, and grandparents, her parents' friends, colleagues, associates, and total strangers almost, would stop and tease her about her desire, asking if her baby brother or sister had arrived yet. Ronke remembered the day that the baby had come home from General Hospital in the town of Ile-Ife 4 long months ago, in June 1970. The father of Yemi, her friend, had come to pick her up at school and told her that she now had a baby brother. She felt excited on the way home and at the same time a pang of fear. She went into the house and at the top of the staircase, her mommy stood in an A-line green dress that barely touched her knees, her hair a big afro.
Aw, I love it.
Her mommy looked tired but elated and as beautiful as usual. Her baby brother was smaller, more boring, and more bad-tempered than she had expected. And all he did was sleep, eat, and cry. Sleep, eat, and cry. She had to walk softly around the house, and everyone told her that she was making too much noise and not to be clumsy, for she had two left flat feet, and one tended to get in the way of the other. Just earlier today, Daddy had spanked her for the very first time in her whole life. He had never, ever before said an angry word to her. Mommy had told her off for making a mess with her drink as they ate lunch. In a fit of temper, Ronke had left the dining table, taken a pair of scissors, and cut a few holes in the turquoise silk dress with the tiny, pretty yellow and purple flowers that Mommy was sewing for herself. Mommy had yanked her up the stairs to Daddy's study. Daddy, seeing how cross Mommy was unfairly without asking Ronke for an explanation for her behavior, had spanked her. Everything had changed. Nothing was the same. Later, Mommy said that her favorite toasted cheese and ham sandwiches were ready and tried to hug her. Ronke pushed her away and went up to her room without supper. After all, no one loved her anymore and she might as well get used to being alone. She lay on her bed reading Miffy at the Seaside. She had read it uncountable times since she was 3 years old, but she still liked to read it, especially when she was sad. Unlike the rabbit family, Ronke and her family lived far, far away from the beach. The closest beach that Ronke knew of was Bar Beach in Lagos. She did not get to go there very often as it was hundreds of miles away. She liked to look at the brightly colored pictures in the Miffy book and imagine herself being at the beach, collecting pink shells, swimming in the cold water, and building a tall sandcastle. Then she read I Wish, which Mommy had bought for her last month, and which was also now one of her best loved books. She liked the part about the girl named Pam, who wished that she had a magic carpet so that she could sit on it and glide through the air to wherever in the world she wanted to go. Ronke wished that she had a magic carpet right now and could soar to the other side of the world, Australia perhaps, so that she could see the kangaroos, or maybe the North Pole, so that she could meet an Eskimo or a penguin, and everyone would wish that they had been much nicer to her. She finally fell asleep, still feeling a little sorry for herself, with Timmy, her faithful, non-judgmental and stuffed dog, held closely to her chest. So that's the end of the second chapter.
Ah, oh, that was great. Ah, I loved it. What a great story.
Thank you.
I would like to know what your inspiration was for your book.
So my book is loosely based upon my childhood. I grew up in a university town called University of Ife in the town of Nigeria, which is in West Africa. And I grew up with my brother and my parents, and they were really loving parents. My brother and I had a fantastic upbringing, a fantastic childhood. And just living on the campus was like paradise. You know, it was great. We had people from all over the world who lived there. They had come to study there, and also there were academicians who came to teach there. They were professors, and it was just great fun. You know, we could go outside, play outside, and climb trees and do whatever we wish. We didn't have televisions. It was just great, and I just wanted to write about those times. I wanted to share a little bit about the life that I enjoyed when I was growing up. I wanted to share that with my children and also share with people from around the world the fact that, you know, Africa, people have this image of Africa being, you know, whatever image they have. Sometimes they have negative images, but I wanted to say, you know, Ronke growing up in Nigeria, she had an ordinary childhood just like everybody else.
Yes. It's so wonderful that we are such an interconnected world now. where we can travel, if not physically travel, we can virtually travel to so many different places in the world and experience different cultures. So that is a great way. Books are such a great way to share a culture and share a piece of, and I love it that this, because this book is a piece of you, a piece of your life, and your kids and your grandkids someday will love and treasure this book, as well as lots of other kids around the world.
That's what I'm hoping.
So, yeah, that's great. What is a lesson that you would like the kids to remember from this chapter of your book?
The lesson is that change is different. Change is unexpected, and sometimes even good changes can feel bad sometimes. You know, in this story, Ronke was looking forward to having a baby brother or sister. She had been living with her parents. She didn't have any siblings for 6 years, and she was really excited. And then when her brother came, it just felt different to her. But it's okay. It's okay to have to feel that, you know, to feel sad.
Yeah.
You know, that's okay. But you know, but talk to your parents about it.
Yes.
And let them know how you feel.
Yeah, feelings are so important. You know, thank you for expressing that important lesson, because so often kids are told that their feelings aren't important, and they are important. And it's important that we let kids feel their feelings and express their feelings and talk to them about their feelings. So that is a great lesson. Thank you.
You're
Where
welcome.
can they purchase your book?
They can purchase my book on my website, www.paradiserestoredpublishing.com.
What a great website name.
I know Paradise Restored Publishing is the name of the publisher that I set up. And it's just really to reflect this idea that we can enjoy paradise right here, you know, in the form of reading books, which take us to different countries and different places. And, you know, reading is just such a treasure, and we can enjoy paradise through reading books. And
I love that. That is great. What a great name. And what a great lesson also. That's another lesson for the kiddos. Paradise is where you are.
Where you are.
You can make it paradise.
Yes.
It's how you think about it. Yep. Awesome. And you have some social media handles.
Yes, I do. And I just also wanted to mention that the book is also available on Amazon.com, but you can actually get to Amazon.com through a link on my website. So all they need to do is go to paradiserestoredpublishing.com. I'm on Facebook under my author name, Morenike Euba Oyenusi. Morenike Euba Oyenusi. I'm also on Instagram under Paradise Restored Publishing. So those are, and I'm on LinkedIn too. On LinkedIn. You search for my name, Morenike Euba Oyenusi, you'll find me on LinkedIn.
Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
Boys and girls, thank you for joining us today on HartsLight Kids. And we'll see you next week. Have a wonderful week. Bye.
Bye.